What's going on, everyone? Ask a Millennial, giofvcks, Site Perspectives. I run 3 different channels. Let's get into the video. What's crazy is, as of today, April 30th, we're at over 60,000 deaths from COVID-19 in the United States of America, with the 3 Ks. And we have over 1 million cases in the United States of America, with the 3 Ks. Now, March 9th, President Trump, 45, said, March 9th, 2020, via his Twitter, they had estimated, at that time, we had only had like 22 deaths. 22 deaths, you guys. Like, I don't think we're all understanding and grasping. We only had 22 deaths. March 9th. And 22 people died. Still, 22 lives lost. March 9th, 2020. April 30th. 7 weeks later, 7 weeks later, April 30th at 12:24 a.m. when I'm doing this video, we have over 60,000 deaths. Over 60,000 people have lost their lives to COVID-19. Coronavirus. Okay, and we have over 1 million cases of COVID-19 in this country. In this shithole country. Which is crazy, because if you remember, what was it? 2017, 2018, President Trump, 45, literally was saying, well, we don't want people from those shithole countries. And this whole time, we've been living in a shithole country. This is absolutely mind-boggling, man. It's like every day, the numbers keep going up. You got states reopening prematurely, and I'm frightened and scared for people, because you pretty much know the states that are opening prematurely, their cases are going to skyrise, the death toll is going to skyrise. More and more people are going to be affected. Many of us are asymptomatic, and we are carriers of COVID-19. Many of us won't get sick. This is very true, because we're asymptomatic. It's sad, because like basically anywhere between, in my guess, this is my guesstimation, 50% to 70% of us already have it, in my opinion. And we're asymptomatic. And many of us will get sick, but we won't be ill to the point that we're at the hospital necessarily. But those of us, the other 50 to 30%, or 30 to 50% that's not asymptomatic, will get sick, will be terminally ill, in the hospital and dying, or extremely ill to the point that they're almost dead and they have to spend 2-3 weeks in the hospital, and then another 2 weeks probably need to be spent quarantine again. And because we don't know, and that's just my guesstimation, again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not an epidemiologist. Shout out to Abdul El Sayed. He ran for governor of Michigan as well. We had a lot of amazing candidates in 2018. But like I said, I'm not, any of these, but that's just my guesstimation, right? Is that 50 to 70% of us are asymptomatic. And then another 30 to 50% of us are who can catch it, who can contract COVID-19, who will get sick, very sick, and or die. And and the fact that everyone hasn't been tested, I wasn't tested. And I got sick last month. Literally on between March 13th and March 15th, I got sick. And then I proceeded to be sick for 2.5 weeks. Of course, I started feeling way better within a week and a half. And then by the time that 2.5 week mark came, I was over the hump, but still had a little cough that lasted another week or two. But my grandmother, on the other hand, she got sick, and it was scary as hell. She couldn't breathe. It was like an intense pneumonia, with the fluid on her lungs, not being able to sleep. She's still having issues with sleeping, but it's not as bad as it was. She is, spending more time sleeping in her bed, but she spent basically a month having to sleep like in a chair, so her breathing wasn't being obstructed because of all of the fluid that was on her lungs. So again, mind you, I don't know if I had COVID-19. I haven't been tested. My granny doesn't know if she had COVID-19. She hasn't been tested. Which is also really ridiculous in the sense that, they keep talking about how we need everyone to get tested and we need to expand testing sites. But yet, every time a new testing site seems to be implemented and set up, it's still the same regulations of unless you're sick with symptoms or you are a frontline worker. Yet, those of us that got sick and never got tested but got through it, we don't know what we got. We might have antibodies. We don't know. And again, we don't know if we had COVID-19. It could have been the flu. It could have been the cold. It could have been pneumonia. It could have been allergies. You don't know because we're not all being tested, which is so problematic because we can't trace it. We can't contain it. We keep talking about flattening the curve. We can't flatten the curve if we don't have everyone being tested. We can't flatten the curve if everybody's still walking around, going out to eat, getting their hair done, going to work, or just out and about. Because it's to the point, and I'm guilty, but I only do it once a week. But I'm guilty still, is that people are just going to the grocery store just to go to the grocery store. I've been going to the grocery store every week on Saturday or Sunday. But I only leave the house once a week, just to go out. Now, I am thinking, God, I do want to just get out sometimes, but I don't. I just, once a week. I have the privilege of having a job that allows me to work from home. But I'm also, which is also something, I'm one of those people where I'm immune compromised, right? So I have Graves' disease. If you didn't know, I've talked about it before, but I have Graves' disease. It's an autoimmune disease. And which explains why I lose weight. My weight it's hard for me to maintain weight. Because if you've seen my videos over time, you've noticed how I've lost. It's just been crazy. So, but again, everyone's not getting tested. Everyone can't get tested. We won't implement things like universal basic income so more people can stay at home but still make a living so they can provide for themselves and their families and pay their bills. We've got small businesses that haven't received the stimulus package funds and refunds and relief packages. They haven't received any of the benefits. We still have people who haven't received any unemployment. People applied for unemployment 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, and they still haven't received it. It's insane, and I don't think President Trump, 45, I don't think Vice President Mike Pence, I don't think the Trump administration, the Trump and Pence administration, I don't think they have handled this well. I don't. And I think there's a lot of shady shit going on behind closed doors. And I don't know, man. But then at the same time, we're seeing the Democrats pass some of the most, throughout our history in this country, seeing them post some of the most progressive shit, because the Democrats have not been progressive. I'm just going to be honest. They haven't been progressive liberals at all, even though they claim to be this. You know what? New video.